The world is full of mysterious creatures that can't be explained, and some of them are so elusive that they've never been captured, leading some to believe that these creatures don't exist. But what happens when more than one person sees the same creature? Could it be that Bigfoot does exist? Could the Loch Ness Monster be real? Check out these 5 historical monsters that may exist in real life. Before we begin, make sure you hit that subscribe button to get notified every day for more amazing content. With that being said, let's begin. Number 5. Chupacabra! For those of you who don't know what a chupacabra is, here's a little cryptozoological history. Sightings of the rumored chupacabra began nearly 20 years ago in 1995. A woman in Puerto Rico claimed that a 5-foot-tall, hairless creature that looks like a combination of a reptile, dog, alien kills livestock by biting the neck and sucking the blood out. In fact, the creature's name actually translates to its alleged diet. Chupar is Spanish for to suck, while cabra means goat. And so, the first stories that emerged about the so-called goat sucker include a creature that is rarely seen, but leaves a trail of dead livestock in its wake. So now that you understand what the creature is, we get to the story of a Texas family that believes they have finally captured the elusive chupacabra. The couple captured their so-called chupacabra on their Ratcliffe property. They were seeking confirmation that they had made a once-in-a-lifetime discovery of this elusive and murderous creature. The weird photos that the couple took show what seemed to be a hairless dog in a cage, but it stands on its hind legs and uses its front paws like a raccoon. The woman of the couple, who was obviously a chupacabra expert, said it looked like a baby chupacabra. She would know, we guess. Many people have claimed to have captured a chupacabra in the past. The animal is typically considered to be hairless, but many experts say would-be chupacabras could just be animals with mange, a skin disease caused by mites that cause animals to lose their hair. But there are answers for what the animal in the cage might actually be. So what could the hairless, scary, dark, leathery skinned creature be? Well, mammals become dehydrated without their fur. Their skin shrinks and darkens, and their snouts and teeth become more pronounced. Their skin is very tight when they become dehydrated, and their teeth and their claws are very prominent, so they do look like a monster. A hairless coyote or a hairless raccoon looks nothing like the real thing, so it adds to the legend. Most of the mammals who get mange end up dying from starvation or dehydration. Humans commonly encounter these mammals as they're dying of starvation because they'll approach human homes and farms in search of food. Whatever the creature is, there have been many sightings of what people call the chupacabra, and as history has shown, it is certain that many more will happen. Number 4. Loch Ness Monster. Also known by its legendary name Nessie, this large marine creature was believed by some people to inhabit Loch Ness, Scotland. However, much of the alleged evidence supporting its existence has been discredited, and it's widely thought that the monster is a myth. Reports of a monster inhabiting Loch Ness date back to ancient times. Notably, local stone carvings by the Pict depict a mysterious beast with flippers. The first written account appears in a biography of Saint Columba from 565 AD. According to that work, the monster bit a swimmer and was prepared to attack another man when Columba intervened, ordering the beast to go back. It obeyed, and over the centuries, only occasional sightings were reported. Many of these alleged encounters seemed inspired by Scottish folklore, which abounds with mythical water creatures. In 1933, the Loch Ness Monster's legend began to grow. At the time, a road adjacent to Loch Ness was finished, offering an unobstructed view of the lake. In April, a couple saw an enormous animal, which they compared to a dragon or prehistoric monster, and after it crossed the car's path, it disappeared into the water. The incident was reported in a Scottish newspaper, and numerous sightings followed. In December 1933, the Daily Mail commissioned Marmaduke Wetherell, a big game hunter, to locate the sea serpent. Along the lake's shores, he found large footprints that he believed belonged to a very powerful, soft-footed animal about 20 feet or 6 meters long. However, upon closer inspection, zoologists at the Natural History Museum determined that the tracks were identical and made with an umbrella stand or ashtray that had a hippopotamus leg as a base. Wetherell's role in the hoax was unclear. The news only seemed to spur efforts to prove the monster's existence. In 1934, English physician Robert Kenneth Wilson photographed the alleged creature. The iconic image, known as the surgeon's photograph, appeared to show the monster's small head and neck. The Daily Mail printed the photograph, sparking an international sensation. Many speculated that the creature was a plesiosaur, a marine reptile that went extinct some 55.5 million years ago. The Loch Ness area attracted numerous monster hunters. Over the years, several sonar explorations, notably in 1987 and 2003, were undertaken to locate the creature, but none were successful. In addition, numerous photographs allegedly showed the beast, but most were discredited as fakes or as depicting other animals or objects. Notably, in 1994, it was revealed that Wilson's photograph was a hoax, spearheaded by a revenge-seeking weatherell. The monster was actually a plastic and wooden head attached to a toy submarine. Despite the lack of conclusive evidence, the Loch Ness Monster remained popular and profitable. In the early 21st century, it was thought that the Loch Ness Monster contributed nearly $80 million annually to Scotland's economy. Number 3. Bigfoot. The legends of Bigfoot go back beyond recorded history and cover the world. In North America, and particularly the Northwest, you can hear tales of 7-foot-tall hairy men stalking the woods, occasionally scaring campers, lumberjacks, hikers, and the like. Bigfoot is known by many titles, with many different cultures, although the name Bigfoot is generally attributed to the mountainous western region of North America. The common name Sasquatch comes from the Salish Sasquatch, while the Algonquin Indians of the north-central region of the continent, and one of the most populous and widespread North American native peoples, refer to a Witico or Wendigo. Other nations tell of a large creature much like a man, but imbued with special powers and characteristics. The Ojibwe of the Northern Plains believed that the Raggaroo appeared in times of danger, and other nations agreed that the hairy apparition was a messenger of warning, telling man to change his ways. North American settlers started reporting sightings during the late 1800s and into the 1900s, with the occasional finding of footprints, sporadic encounters, and even a few grainy photographs and videos adding to the mystery. Those who claim to have seen Bigfoot have described everything from a large, upright ape to an actual hairy human, sometimes standing over 8 feet tall and described as powerfully built. The debate and research continue. Entire organizations exist to study and document Bigfoot and prove its existence, and groups regularly search the Northwest woods looking for that ultimate proof. After 1958, woods workers east and west of the Cascade Mountains began to report seeing creatures and discovering their immense tracks along logging roads, enhancing public recognition of the Bigfoot name. Witnesses observed these so-called humanoids crossing roads at night, striding furtively through forest and mountain terrain, or digging for and eating ground squirrels in rock piles. Bigfoot quickly entered into the occupational culture of loggers, manifested as a series of stories, jokes, chainsaw sculptures, and fabricated prints as playful pranks. By the 1970s, former Yeti hunter Peter Byrne had established the Bigfoot Information Center at the Dalles, gaining national media attention for his documentation of eyewitness testimony and footprints adduced as evidence for a new species of primate. Footprints in dirt or snow continue to be found and reported to various organized groups who have followed Byrne's efforts. Number 2. The Beast of Bodmin Moor. Here is another tale of an unknown legendary creature. The Beast of Bodmin Moor is a Black Panther-like creature that's believed to inhabit Bodmin Moor in Cornwall. Indeed, there have been around 60 or other big cat sightings recorded in the area since 1983, and experts believe there's a population of big cats in and around mid-Cornwall. There have even been some sightings as far apart as Kent and Scotland. Perhaps the best supporting evidence yet for the beast's existence comes in the form of recently released 20-second video footage which may show a species of wild cat previously thought to be extinct. Locals in mid-Cornwall believe the animal could be just one of a number of big cats roaming the area. There are fears that the legendary Beast of Bodmin has made a comeback, with 7 reported sightings of a mystery 2 feet tall big cat inside a week. The reports have come from 7 unrelated holidaymakers at various locations across North Cornwall. Time will tell if these new sightings prove to be the legendary beast. Past sightings have come close to making the myth a reality. 3 brothers found the skull of a leopard in the River Fowey in 1995 and thought they had come up with real proof. The British Museum found that it was indeed a leopard, but it had never lived in Britain. They guessed that it had been imported as a leopard skin rug. A long-held hypothesis suggests the possibility that alien big cats at large in the United Kingdom could have been imported as part of a private collection or of a zoo later escaped or set free. An escaped big cat would not be reported to the authorities due to the illegality of owning and importing the animals. It's been claimed that animal trainer Mary Chipperfield released 3 pumas into the wild following the closure of her Plymouth Zoo in 1978, and that subsequent sightings of the animals gave rise to rumors of the beast. Number 1. The Yeti. In popular culture, a Yeti is an enormous, shaggy ape man with huge feet and aggressive, saber-like teeth. Its fur is either gray or white. It's often depicted roaming the snowy mountains alone, a feral throwback to our violent evolutionary past. The Yeti is one of several supposed ape men. Elsewhere in the world, people tell tales of Bigfoot or the Sasquatch, which we previously mentioned. Except this is its cousin that lives in the frozen wastelands of the Earth. The Yeti figure has its origins in folklore. The character is an ancient and important part of the legends and history of the Sherpa, the communities that live at an average altitude of 12,000 feet in eastern Nepal. In 1921, the explorer and politician Charles Howard Bury led a British expedition to Mount Everest. He spotted some large footprints and was told that they belonged to the Meto Kagmi. This means something like man-bear-snowman. When the expedition returned, a journalist interviewed some of the members. Unfortunately, Henry Newman was not the most accurate reporter. He first mistranslated Meto as filthy, then decided that abominable was even better. In that moment, a legend was born. Accounts of sightings by locals continued to be translated by Western visitors, and the story of a mysterious ape-like snowman took off. By the 1950s, interest ran high. Various mountaineers launched expeditions to find the creature. Ever since, there have been footprints in snow, DIY-style films, grainy photographs, and eyewitness accounts from mountaineers. Putative Yeti skulls have been found, as well as bone fragments and hair samples. But on inspection, they've usually been attributed to other wildlife, such as bears, antelopes, and monkeys. Despite any concrete proof, people still go looking for Yetis in the Himalayas. Yetis are an example of cryptozoology, the search for creatures that cannot be said to exist because of a lack of evidence. The mountaineer Reinhold Messner is perhaps the most famous Yeti hunter of all. He claims to have seen one in the Himalayas in the 1980s, and returned dozens of times to get to the bottom of the mystery. Messner has a simple theory to explain the sightings. The Yeti's a bear. It's a bear, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video, Top 5ers. If you haven't already, check out our other channel, The Brilliant, to enjoy even more amazing list videos. There'll be a link in the description, so make sure you go check that out as well.